Yo, yo, yo. So today I'm actually going to talk about something that I recorded already about 3 weeks ago. But for reasons, I deleted the video because we don't need to focus on that. Positive thoughts. What is this? That's a dad. Um, so, this is the Arcturian message, if you will. And the reason why I wanted to do this again is because this message was so important in my opinion. And I'm like this with the Arcturians. I really honestly love them. I feel their presence all the time, very heavily. And, for those of you who don't know, the Arcturians are a space race, star beings, and they've been here assisting us, assisting the humanity for a long, long time, for eons, forever perhaps. And they really have compassion for us. They really care about us a lot. And like I said, I just felt that the downloads that I got were so important that I just felt the need to get this out. And so for those of you who've already seen my previous Arcturian message, this is the exact same story message, but I just had to do it again. So don't be weirded out if you perhaps already seen my previous video about this. This is the same message, but a redo. So there were three important things that the Arcturians were, the downloads that I got from the Arcturians. Oh, and something about the Arcturians that I want to mention is that they are really connected to Lemuria and Atlantis. And the Arcturians are very tech-heavy race. So technology plays a big part. They are very advanced in that area. And this message kind of pertains to that as well. And also the Arcturians are considered to be somewhat of a time travelers. So that is also something that, we're gonna mention here. So, I feel like the Arcturians have been contacting me or us very heavily, especially right now. And the way they communicate is very sharp. Like it's very, they kind of come out like a lightning from the sky, and the message is very like, this is what we want you to know. And they tap into the Akashic records, or they make you tap into the Akashic records. And so and there's something very electric about the way they communicate, for me at least. So I feel like this electric wave throughout my body. Appliances that have electricity kind of start to make noise when I feel their presence. Like the refrigerator might start to make a lot of sound, and so on. And also and also like there's this sort of noise that goes around, that noise that you hear in films or in TV, like if you are at the comedy club and your jokes don't land, and microphone starts to make that sort of circling noise. Sort of noises like that come about when they are talking to you. So the things that I got from the Arcturians were the following. So one was portraying one was considering technology. So they, basically told me that, the way we have used technology has been sort of like a mockery, or the forces at that be, because technology is actually something much more symbiotic, much more natural, much more grounded, because we as humans portray a lot of inner technology, and so does the earth. So technology is actually supposed to be more in line with you and the earth, but it has been hijacked. The idea of technology has been hijacked from us, and it's been propagandized and kind of used against us. The way the Arcturians kind of view or use technology, because they are very, very advanced technology wise, and they have sort of mastered this heart and logical mind connection, because they are very, very logical, not stoic, but they have this fusion of logical mind and the heart. So technology, the way I felt they wanted me to talk about it, is sort of like in the film Avatar, or if you have seen the film Atlantis, the animation, because in Atlantis, the animation, they have these crystals, and the crystals are part of the Atlanteans themselves, but they also produce electricity. They kind of keep the city alive, they provide power to these flying jet ski motorcycle things that they have, and but it's also something that comes from the ground and is part of them. It's part of their ancestry, quite like the Navi people in Avatar, if you have seen that film. So the Arcturians want us to use technology in that sort of way, and they have been trying to give us this knowledge of this technology forever, but because there has been many times that civilizations have come down because we have been misusing the technology, and because some people get corrupted by power, and you could talk about weapons of mass destruction and things of that nature. So that's something they want to make clear, that we do have this opportunity to use technology for good, and that's how it's supposed to be. And technology has been around. It has been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years throughout different civilizations. Sometimes on the internet you see these pictures of like some caveman, having an iPad or something in their hands. That's because we have had technology, but it's been the forces that be, the elite, I guess, have been keeping this information from us, so we cannot evolve in a way that we're supposed to, And then the other thing that they gave the information of was pertaining to the ocean, and specifically whales came to mind, because I was like thinking, what is this feeling? Because I, for months now have been connecting with the whales a lot, and you know how the whales communicate like, "Aww," you know. That's so embarrassing, but you know what I mean. So the sounds that the whales, with the way that they communicate, it's actually a protective signal against some negative signals that come from these satellites that have been placed around the globe throughout space and here on Earth, that send a frequency that keeps us in a lower vibration. And also the satellites that the elite have built actually send, it's some sort of like hologramish technology, which also keeps us from seeing things from the way that they actually are. And the way the sounds that the ocean, specifically the whales, make kind of fights against that negative signal. And that's why the ocean is so targeted, because there is a lot of these safety mechanisms put in place in the ocean, and the ocean is very connected to the space. The word deep space also speaks about the ocean. So the ocean is sort of like a planet in a way of its own. And the third thing that felt really important, uno momento, there's something really comforting about like keeping something in your hands, something warm. So that's why I have some tea here. It kind of keeps me calm. So about time. And now, they are talking about this new timeline shift that we have entered, and we are living it actually right now. It's sort of like this glitch in the matrix, but it's permanent, where things that used to would be considered to be perhaps paranormal or quite esoteric in nature can now sort of surface, and like they are talking about the new Atlantis, new Lemuria on Earth. Like that time is here, and the Arcturians really have been wanting to make this revolution happen for many, many times. And, because time is not linear. And the Arcturians know this. They live in this sort of world where time is like just all right here, right now. The way the Arcturians see time, the movie Arrival came to mind, if you have seen that film, where sort of things that happen at the moment have happened before. Like, it's hard to explain, but the elite knows this. The elite has this knowledge of time, and they have been manipulating time. For example, in a way, they have moved certain events from happening, certain revolutions that have been supposed to happen have not, because the elite has been using this time manipulation tactics to keep us from evolving. And there is also another reason why they don't want us to know that actually everything is happening right now. Because if we think about time, that what's in the past is in the past, it doesn't matter, and the future is somewhere far, far away, it sort of keeps us in this egotistical state where we do not care about about the repercussions of our actions. We don't care what kind of planet, what kind of universal consciousness we leave for our children, for our grandchildren. It's so that we don't believe that by healing ourselves, by healing our wounds, we actually heal the wounds of our ancestors. And like I said, it keeps us from evolving. It keeps us from this egotistical state where we only care about what we want right now, what I need right now, my feelings right now. But the future is right now, the past is right now. They are all connected, and this is such an important information for the Arcturians, because when you truly understand this, and when you truly live like this, with this knowledge, you start to care more about your actions and about the consequences, about the long-term effects of your actions and your, just your moral kinda. And you know how there's this theory going around that this is actually like 2012. So let's say this experience that we are going through now globally, I don't think I need to say it out loud, actually was supposed to happen in 2012, the Mayans predicted. But again, with the time manipulation thing, things have been moved around, and it keeps us in this confused state. And it also kind of keeps us from not remembering who we are. It keeps us from tapping into our Akashic records, our past lives, about our future selves, our higher selves, because our higher self is here right now, it's in you right now. But because our brain has been manipulated to think that time only moves forward and backwards, or backwards and forward, we don't live like this. We don't believe this. We only care about now, So this is what the Arcturians, are trying to tell, that it's so important to understand that time is right here, right now. The past, present, and the future is all in line right now. So this gives you an opportunity to truly tap into the true you, your higher self. It makes you think more. It makes you tap into the Akashic records and the universal love and universal consciousness. And what they are saying is that there is now perhaps a possibility to sort of experience these weird time warps. Like you might, it's almost like ascension symptoms, where you might feel like you are certain that it's Monday, but it's actually like Friday, but you were like, what the heck? It was, I was certain it's Monday. Or time can feel like it's moving like very fast, or you can experience a lot of like deja vu-ish type of experiences, or have like a lot of weird flashbacks, or you might be triggered by different imagery, music, smells to your past life. So you might be seeing a lot of dreams about your past life or future life, or you might be getting a lot of intuitive messages from your higher self, your future self. And also, something also that I kind of got, but I'm not entirely sure, I haven't decoded this yet, what this truly means, but I do have a strong feeling this is also from the Arcturians, and they are talking a lot about something about like precious stones. I think that's how we say it in English. So like gemstones, about like diamonds, about crystals, about something about like precious stones. I don't know if that has something to do with the technology or if there is some kind of bigger meaning to that. But that is what I got. And although I'm not sure, what that means, but it just felt so important. And if it perhaps, resonates with somebody who sees this, I thought that it might be interesting or important to mention that, because maybe somebody who is even more connected to this than me can kind of decode what that might mean. So something about like diamonds, about precious stones, about crystals that felt very important. So yeah, that's pretty much the message. And also, as always, the importance of you alchemically transforming yourself, and if this resonates, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, because like I said, there is a possibility to really experience real life magic on earth, even amongst those who are kind of non-believers of these sort of things. It's kind of almost like unavoidable now to not perhaps experience some of these interesting events that are taking place. And I think the Arcturians strongly believe that it's kind of the time is up, like the world as we knew it has come to an end, not in an apocalyptic way, but in like a good way, like almost like the Atlantis is here, Lemuria is here, our consciousness has arrived, basically. So that's all. That's the message that I decided to record again. So it might be weird if you saw my previous video, because it's basically the exact same thing. But like I said, this just was so important to me, and I just feel it's important for us all, quite frankly. So with that being said, namaste, truly from the bottom of my heart, oneness, and live long and prosper. Bye.